Hey everybody, my name is Oldskulenerd, and I do real reactions to real music. Um, I, it's a special day here on Oldskulenerd. Is it because we're about to hit 53,000 subscribers? No, but thank you. Is it because we hit 6 million views? Nope, but thank you. Is it because we've been doing this for 9 months and our 9 month anniversary? No, that was 10 days ago. But what it is actually the first time we're ever doing a reaction to Skillet.
It's time for reaction. Welcome in. Oldskulenerd.
9 months, not a single Skillet reaction. I know some of you have been like, we don't get it. Well, there's a very simple reason. My entire premise of this channel is I do reactions to metal and folk music and rock music and all different variances of those genres together. And I have 3 rules. Number 1, I cannot have seen or heard the song or video that I'm about to react to. That's number 1. Number 2, I have to give 100% real, honest reaction to everything. Nothing is pre-recorded. I don't do any research about the band ahead of time. So whatever I say is just whatever I'm feeling or gleaming from the video itself, which means I'm going to get a lot of stuff wrong all the time. But that's what makes a reaction to something really kind of cool. And the third one, all of my reactions are your ideas. All of you have to suggest or request for me to do a reaction to. I just don't go off and do stuff. Now, a lot of people have asked me, can you do a reaction to Awake and Alive? Can you do a reaction to Monster? Can you do a reaction to Invincible? Can you do a reaction to Hero? I can't. Technically, because it violates the first 2 rules. Why? I've seen Skillet twice. I have Skillet CDs that on the back of the CD, the year on the copyright starts with a 1 and a 9. What can I say? What a lot of you don't know is when I was living in Texas, I did do a couple of years. I did actually a couple semesters at a seminary. So at that time, I was really into certain types of music, and my 2 biggest bands at the time was a band called Third Day and a band called Skillet. So Skillet was just starting off, and so was Third Day, and there you go. So everyone's old now except John. He keeps dyeing his beard like he's 19. Speaking of beards, my entire design for the shape of my beard and growing mine out the way mine is literally because I noticed that the way in 2014, the way John looked in 2014, and then how he changed his look into 2016 and how he looks now, I noticed that as he got older, and you could see the age on his face by putting a beard and shaping it the way we do, it makes us look younger than we really are. The difference between me and John is I let my natural color come through. Okay. So, how long have I been a Skillet fan? Oh, since Laurie Peters was the drummer. Okay, it's been a bit. Now, Seth has been around there for a long time. Of course, Corey has been in John's corner, making sure that man-child stays on track for quite a while as well. And of course, Jim Ledger from the UK is their new drummer. Now, just a few ideas for you as far as me and how I feel about the band. I do love a lot of their music. Okay, there are some of their songs that I don't care for as much, but my kids really love them. Most of their stuff that is industrial, created stuff is not as appealing to me as some of their power, straight musical rock stuff. But that's just me. All right, so the new song is called Surviving the Game, and I'll be stopping at probably a dozen times during this because I have so many thoughts about Skillet that I've been holding in for 9 months because I haven't had a song that I didn't already know by heart that I could do a reaction to. So technically, you can get mad at me for stopping the video a lot to talk about it, but it's all Corey and John's fault. Seth and Jen have nothing to do with this. It's probably all John's fault, not Corey. If you know how all that stuff works with them, you'll get it. Every stupid man or every man-child needs a Corey. I'm just putting that out there. It's true. Here we go. Nice effect on that mic, John. We all know you don't sound that, your voice isn't that deep. But it's cute though. No, I do like it. I gotta, look, bearded dads have to stick together, which means I'm gonna mess with him till the day he dies. Or I die from old age. It's gonna be one of us, but we're both the same age, so it kind of works, so.
If you want to survive, and I'm gonna take back what you took me for. 'Cause I was born for this. All the bones that you're breaking, you pretend you're the one that can save me. Now I'm taking it back, it was never yours.
Okay, first impressions of the song itself, I do like that groove, the arrangement of the guitars in that musical run through before the first verse, heavy. There is a little bit of industrial manipulation in there through the production and mixing and stuff that kind of gives it that extra hype to it. If you've never heard of Skillet before, they are a very positive message rock/metal band. Okay, they will play on the stage right after a death metal band and right before Slipknot, and they fit in just fine. But at the same time, they're completely opposite. Why? Because their message is very much a Christian core message, and it has never changed. They're not a band that started one way and then became a Christian band. No. When they started when the years started with a 1 and a 9, they were always that way. And they've never really changed, and you got to respect it. And a lot of bands, even though they may not be Christian bands, love having them around. Why? Because it's a positive energy to have on tour. And they put on one heck of a show. Let's talk about the arrangement, okay? Seth and Corey really laying in the guitar riffs on this. I really like the hooks. I like the arrangement. If you're not familiar with Skillet, there's kind of a dynamic that goes on. They are not only a rock band, but they are also a backing tracked band. What I mean by that is not in a bad way, okay? They have 2 guitarists. They have Corey, who's John's wife, and she's also a huge part of the production portions and songwriting and lyrics and everything else. I mean, creatively, without Corey, they'd be struggling. Let me just say that, okay? And then you have Seth on the other side playing the guitars. Seth is not what you would refer to as a heavy metal guitarist. He's a rock chording, phrasing guitarist, but he is really, really good at putting hooks and tags in the perfect spot of almost every Skillet song they do. So you can expect the guitars will not be sloppy. They will almost seem produced. Seth really knows his craft, and he works constantly on being a better player. You're going to notice a lot of industrial sounds, drum loops, sometimes keyboard backing tracks and everything else. Now, that's because production-wise, Corey is doing keys, backing track and loops, playing the rhythm guitar, and some backing vocals. Corey's doing a lot, okay? Jen is playing the drums, and in this instance, during the verse, she's doing a tom walk to emphasize that pulse, that rolling roll that she's doing gives a push that allows John to do that spoken word, intimate verse speaking style that he's doing, that then allows him to, it gives weight to it. So she's busy. Plus, she's also doing the echoing vocals. Seth's over there manipulating everything. So what is John doing? Well, I can tell you what John's doing. John is being the front man that he is, the big alpha doggo that he thinks he is. He's always showing his immaculate beard. He is the bass player. Now, I will tell you, there are times, and this is not a knock on John at all. John's a great bass player. He's been playing bass 25, 30 years, okay? Since as long as the band's been around, okay? I think the band's hitting 25 years this year. And John's a great bass player. But John is such a front man. And he is so good at connecting with a crowd. He will Garth Brooks the snot out of himself. Now, what I mean by that is, if you've never seen Garth Brooks live in concert, you need to do it if you ever get a chance. And the reason why I say that is, even if you don't like country music, you need to go see Garth Brooks in concert, because it is the ultimate showman show. There are times when Garth Brooks will be in the middle of a song and something will click between him and an audience, and he is gone to the races. You have no idea where he's going, but he is in the zone, and whatever he was doing doesn't matter. John does that too. So there are some songs, like Sick, the song Sick. John will put down the bass. Corey will play the bass part in a pre-organized track in the song, so John can get up there and connect with the crowd. He just does. So there are times in the show where John will be playing his bass. There are times in a live show where he won't be playing his bass. That's not a knock on him. I just know that there are some times he's got to put that bass to the side because he is connecting. And that's just the way it is. In fact, he does it so often. One of the things I've always wanted to do was, people ask me, if you could interview anybody from Skillet, who would you interview? Would it be Jen? No. Would it be Seth? No. Would it be John? No, I don't want to talk to him. But I would want to do an interview with Corey, because there's so much work that goes on, from album to arrangement for live shows, and then the production of the live shows that she is constantly working on. If you watch any of their YouTube videos, you can go to Skillet, behind the scenes, Skillet, on tour, Skillet, vlog, whatever. They're one of the most accessible bands out there. They're always telling you what they've got going on. And usually anytime you have a video where John's like, "Hey everybody, this is John, and we are here in Russia, and this is our second leg of our European tour. What's up? So as I'm doing here, looking good with my beard and looking like a rock star, the woman over here over my shoulder, that's my wife Corey. She hasn't stopped working for 37 hours straight doing the entire mix for the new album." Yeah, she works that hard. She has to corral the man-child John. She has 2 kids. Okay, so she has to be super mom as well. And kind of the creative organizational direction of Skillet has always kind of run through her. Plus, she's a huge mentor to Jen. And we'll probably talk a little bit more about Jen's journey with Skillet later in this video a little bit. I'm trying not to let it go too far. But the reason why I want to have an interview with Corey is to talk to her about all the different things. But the big question I want to ask her about is, she knows how her husband is on stage. And she knows how at any time he could literally, okay, I've seen him in a live show stop playing the bass because he's connecting in the crowd and he's not playing. And you can hear there's no bass in the mix because he just stops playing. And then there's sometimes I see him and the bass is still going. John's holding his bass and he's just rocking out. But I'm thinking, is he really playing? Because I'm watching his hands and I play bass too. And it's not really syncing up. And the reason why I think is I want to know, I got to ask Corey one day, does she put a bass track in a lot of their live show mixes in the tracks that they have? Because, and this is not a knock on John, John can play all these songs on the bass. But again, John is the Corey Taylor of Christian rock music. He really is. He will literally get caught up in that connection that he has with a live crowd, and he will literally forget to play. Yeah. That's how much he cares. We can make fun of his the color of his beard and his convictions and his faith, and we can pick on him about how much of a man-child he is. But the thing about it is, nobody connects with a crowd the way John does. He will literally get, I mean, he's got to be 6 feet away now, but before, he would literally, he gives of himself all the time, and that's what makes it so great to be around him. So I know I'm talking a lot during this reaction, but you have to understand, this is my first Skillet reaction, and I've been waiting on all this stuff for months. I've got 25 years of Skillet memories, and this is my first reaction, and I've talked for 10 minutes, and the song's played for exactly 1.23 minutes. I have a problem.
Fighting for my focus, give the pain a purpose, like the fire inside, feel it come alive. Show them what I'm made of, victories for the brave ones who never bow the knee when it's do or die.
You see, Corey's probably going to fix it. John's going to look like he's fixing it. Guitarist down. Get Seth a water, quick. Sorry. Wait. So John's looking at the engine, right? He's looking at it and he goes, wait. Bro, did you just fall? Look. Seth goes down. John looks up and goes, what just happened? Look, watch, look. You can really hear that tom walk that Jin's doing. That's giving a lot of weight to John's spoken word on this verse. The chorus is very open. So Jin will go from this tom walk that's adding a lot of, dynamic to this verse. And she's still doing the echo vocal to her left. And then when they go to the chorus, she can really just let it out. She can ride that crash. And she can just, she'll keep it going, but she can really let loose on that part. And of course, if she's doing backing vocals. It's a very different, it's funny. There are a few songs that Skillet does that sound very similar to other ones. And the whole part where he's like, we're going to be unstoppable. And he keeps repeating the unstoppable part. Kind of does remind me of Invincible a little bit. But the arrangement is completely different. This is a very different arrangement as far as composition and the way it's laid out, to where there's a certain tempo and, well, the tempo doesn't change, but there's a certain amplitude in the chorus versus the verse, which is kind of backwards for them. And it works in this instance. It really does. I'm interested to see where they go for on this bridge. I don't expect a guitar solo. It's just not that kind of song. But let's see what they go with it for here.
Show them what you're made of. Victories for the brave ones. Never bow the knee, 'cause it's do or die. One more time. I'm in the game. Be unstoppable. Gonna walk through hell, gonna shake the wall. Survive in the game. Living the impossible. I'm a champion indestructible. Survive in the game. I am more than a conqueror.
this vocal bridge is what they're really known for. Instead of like, they'll do this. Okay, so they'll do a verse, chorus, and a lot of bands will do a bridge into a guitar solo. What they'll do is they'll do this build up, and then they'll do this this vocal rendition. Is the best way I can call it, because it's not a bridge, it's a rendition. It's a vocal rendition where they elevate the vocals. Seth will go in and play some tags in here that kind of change the melodic tone on the guitar side. Jen will usually play something along like that tom roll from the verse, but it's not the verse. You can tell that it's something where John is trying to convey a specific, like, this is the part of the song where things are about to change. It's a storytelling mechanism. It's not a storytelling climax per se, but it's usually like the unveiling of a plot hole or an unveiling of a plot twist. But in this case, it's a musical sense. So this is that part of the song where if it's a song about struggling and strife, like this one is Surviving the Game, this is the part where John and Corey really create something where they're now going to reveal to you the solution to this problem, or the hero reveals themselves. Get it? It's kind of a thing that Skillet's done for 20 years. So when I hear it, I'm like, here comes the reveal of the it's best way that I would be able to describe it, if I would think about the way John would probably think about this kind of stuff, is it's the moment of salvation. It's that moment where everything you're up against, either the weight is lifted or the burden is pulled back, or the scales fall off your eyes, and then suddenly you can see the solution where all before you saw was darkness. Does that make sense? It's a storytelling mechanism that Skillet masters on almost all their music. Sometimes it can be something as simple as an amplitude of the song, like Awake and Alive. You know, there is that little guitar solo in there, but when they come off that guitar solo, they really do that, but an amplitude up to where you can realize, okay, it's really Awake and Alive. The thing you have to understand about Skillet is I've never seen them once write a song that didn't tell an important story. Yes, they do have a song about playing video games at night, but it still talked about youth and the vitality of being young again, right? So on all their songs, they have a storytelling arc where nothing is put into a song that doesn't have a distinct purpose. And this is what this part is here. I'm backing up a little bit. See? Seth changes the key. And they're breaking all their shackles of everything they're dragging behind them. Oh, quick note to Corey. Maybe you should go ahead and shackle that anvil to John's leg and use it during live performances so he can't run around like a gazelle so much. Just a hint. I get the meaning of it, but there's no way you can expect me to do my reactions and not totally make the obvious joke. Wait, did Skillet just take Mad Max, the Road Warrior, and Narnia and have a love child? And there we are. It's like if you take Narnia and throw it in a Mad Max Fury Road trailer because they're in the desert. Yeah, I know.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
It's not unknown to me. I already knew. Wow. All right, so that's Skillet surviving the game. Okay, my my thoughts are as follows. Great Skillet song, exactly what I expect from them on a new song. I know that they said that the we're going to channel a little bit of Star Trek here. Apparently, the title of the new album is going to be called Dominion, and it's all about fighting against the evils of the world, overcoming adversity, breaking free of chains and freedom, and it's kind of the message they're going on with this new album. Good for them. Sounds great. Looking forward to hearing a little bit more of it. The only thing that I'm interested in hearing, September 29th, Houston, Texas. I will be seeing this band live, and I'm interested to see if they play this song in the set, how it's going to be done. The song has a lot of electronic, programmed effects and sounds in it, from the chopping of the voices and a little bit of the interrupts in the editing to give it that industrial clubbish feel to it. At the same time, it's a straightforward beat in the drumming, so I think Jen's going to nail this. Of course, I'm almost positive Seth and Corey have got their parts in. So I'm interested to see how they're going to translate this out. Like, okay, when you see them play Sick or you see them play Monster, they play them straight up as rock songs versus the production level of the music video and studio album, which is a lot more stuff. Now, there is a backing track, and normally on those two songs, John isn't playing his bass because he's too busy. Those two songs have a tendency to both have a lot of crowd back and forth, so John needs that mobility to do that. This song kind of feels to me like it would be either the opening song on a show or the encore song of a show, or the finale. Okay, you have a set. Okay, so you have your opening song, you have your body songs, then you have your closing song, and if you have an encore, you'll usually rendition it with your biggest hits. Skillet's been around now to a part where they can easily do an encore. They have that much material. So I could see this song being an opener in the concert. I could see it being the finale song, but I could also see it being the first song of an encore with like Hero or Awaken Alive or Invincible to finish a show. We don't know how that's going to work out. I'll let you know what I see. Also, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they live performance this song when they do. Are they going to go mostly just go heavy hard with it, metal style, hard rock style? Are they going to do more like Sick and Monster, where they do the backing tracks for the basses and everything because because of the way it's set up? We don't know. But I like the song. Imagery's good. I really like that aggressive hook and that progressive arrangement in those musical parts before each. At the end of every chorus, they go into that transition. It's heavy, it's hard, it leads into these verses, so it snaps you to attention and says, listen to what it's about to be told to you. And so John does his speaking verse part. Jen is over there does this tom walk to where you stay captioned. Then they go into their choruses. Then they do that reprisal banner, that segment that reveals the truth or reveals the salvation of a song that they always do. And then they do a chorus, a reprisal chorus to finish. Very good song. And that is my first ever Skillet reaction. Kind of excited that I got to do this. Sorry I talked all of you to death. At least I didn't go into droning about Jen's start with the band. Maybe we'll do that on the next song. Yeah, Jen's story of how she became a member of Skillet and her first few months being a part of the band is an amazing story. In fact, instead of me telling you, go on YouTube and look it up. She's done a few interviews and a few behind the scenes vlogs with them where she talks about what it was to join the band and how they found her and what the relationship has been like. It's fairly unique. It's something that you don't hear a lot in any music genre, much less metal, rock, Christian metal, whatever it is. You usually don't find a drummer in that way. So I'll let you guys find that out on your own. My name is Oldskulenerd, and that was Skillet. We survived the game.